Good morning, everyone. This is Prajal. So in this session, we are going to understand what is delivered in 6.0.3, which is the latest release which is there in the market. The context I want to set here is for GST returns. Till now, we were hearing about GSTR 1, which was supposed to be filed by the customers in the following month. So for July, it was supposed to be filed in the month of August by 10th. That is, all suppliers were supposed to file GSTR 1 and all buyers were supposed to file their GSTR 2 by 15th, and by 20th both suppliers and buyers were supposed to file their GSTR 3, that is the monthly return, along with the payment of the tax liability. But now the government has extended this GSTR 1, 2, 3 filing till September, and now they are expecting the assessees to file their GSTR 3B, which is a summary level form that needs to be filed by 20th of August, and this is a summary level filing for the month of July. So from 5th of August, it has already been started. The window is already open on the GSTN portal for the assessees to file their GSTR 3B. So though they have extended the period now to September, so the GSTR 3 for the month of July and August needs to be filed in the month of September. So both the months, GSTR 3, which is a monthly return, needs to be filed in the month of September. So there is a confusion in the market. So as I'm going to file my GSTR 3 in the month of September for my July and August, then why should I file my GSTR 3B, which is a summary level information, this month? I will not file. That will be the scenario. So you need to educate the customers that it is mandatory to file their GSTR 3B, which is a summary level information, for the month of July and for the month of August. And in the month of September, when they will file their GSTR 3 for the month of July and August, GSTR 3B will also be considered as a supporting document. So against that, they will cross-check the liability which was paid in the for the month of July and August with GSTR 3B, and then when the GSTN portal will give a GSTR 3 in the month of September, that will happen through invoice matching concept. So they will cross-check the liability that is paid by the assessees. And if there is any difference in the liability, say for example, the assessee has paid a liability of 8,000 rupees to the GSTN department, and then the liability which got generated through GSTR 3, that is invoice matching, turned out to be 10,000 rupees. So there is a mismatch of 2,000 liability. So no penalty or interest or late fees will be charged for that. So department is not going to charge anything extra or to the assessees. And so whatever is the difference, the user needs to pay. If it is a refund, then an ITC credit will be reflected on his portal. So that is taken care. So now the GSTR 3B, which is supposed to be filed by 20th of August for the month of July, that is a July return, is already provided in Tally in release 6.0.3. So let's see now how do you go and see that report. So you have, from the gateway of Tally, you can go to display, statutory reports, GST, and there is a menu here available below GSTR 1 and 2, that is GSTR 3B. This is there only for the month of July and August, and September onwards this is not applicable. So assessees will continue to file their respective GSTR 1, 2 and 3 going forward from September onwards. So just GSTR 3B, which is applicable for July and August. So I'll drill down from GSTR 3B and I'll change the period to now July month. So this is a summary level information which a department is asking. If the assessee logs in to their GSTN portal, they will get the same level of form available there, and they have to fill this data on their portal and file their GSTR 3B. So Tally is assisting the users now to get this information through the transactions which they have already passed in Tally. So this is a summary level information, that is outward supplies of inward and inward supplies liable to reverse charge, then supplies of interstate supplies made to unregistered or composition, eligible ITC, and the value of exempt, nil rated and GST inward supplies. If you click on Alt F1 details, you will get the further bifurcation of it. So this is the same format which is available on the GSTN portal, which we have given in Tally. If they want to view it in a default format, on the right hand side there is an option given default view. So they can see what is the sales taxable, nil rated, interstate, deem, export, all different types of transactions. So this is the default view which is also available if they want to view this category wise, sales category wise or purchase category wise. And apart from this, we have also provided show URD purchase report. So all the purchases done from an unregistered dealer will be fetched and shown here. So if you click on this show URD purchase or click Alt R, you will get date wise what are the transactions. Currently the threshold given by the department is 5,000 per day. So which is already given in Tally. If you see on the top left corner, it is showing here threshold limit is 5,000 per day. Going forward, if somebody wants to change this threshold, so they can press F12 configure here and they can change the threshold limit. So based on this limit, the transactions will get filtered out and shown here. Okay, so if you drill down from the 20th of August, there are two transactions here. Similarly, 21st of and 31st. So day wise it will show here. At the bottom it will show you what is the total taxable value, what is the central tax, state tax, or if there is any cess that needs to be paid. And if there is any liability booked by the user, that is the journal transaction using the flag, that will also get captured. And what is the balance liability to be booked, it will show. So by default, the liability will not be shown in Tally, unlike our previous releases. So it will only show what is the URD purchase, what is the liability, and after booking the liability, if there is any pending transaction that needs to be passed, that is the adjustment entries. So now you need not pass a journal adjustment entry for all the transactions one by one. At the end of the month, so let's say for the July month, on 31st of July, they can pass an adjustment entry, that is the total liability that needs to be paid to the department. Okay, so if they were so to pass a journal transaction, on the right hand side a button is already provided, that is a stat adjustment. The flag that they need to select is increase in the tax liability, because when you purchase from an unregistered supplier. Before understanding the adjustment entry, let's first understand what is this reverse charge. So usually what happens when you are buying any goods from a registered supplier, the tax which is getting charged is called as a forward charge. And when you are buying it from an unregistered dealer, in that case, because he is an unregistered, he is not going to charge you any tax on the sales invoice given by him. So in this case, it becomes a reverse charge, that is, as a buyer, you need to pay the tax on that sale which has happened, which is from an unregistered supplier. Whatever goods you are buying, you need to pay tax to the department on behalf of that unregistered dealer. So there is an increase in the tax liability that you need to show in your books. And once you get an input credit from the department, again you can pass an increase in the input tax credit, that is next month whenever you get the credit. So now what the entry that you need to pass is increase in the tax liability, because you are going to pay the tax for this purchase from an unregistered supplier. And then additional details, you need to select the nature of adjustment as purchase from unregistered dealer. Then you need to debit your tax on URD purchase, that should be under current asset. So you need to first check what is the value, that is the assessable value, and what is the tax that you need to pay. So this currently you need to pass this adjustment entry manually. It is only a one adjustment entry that needs to be passed end of the month. So right now this adjustment entry needs to be passed manually. So whatever is the tax liability, you need to specify that. So let's say now the pending liability that needs to be booked is 7159. So tax amount total is 14,319. So 7159 is your outputs CGST and SGST each, and total amount that needs to be paid is 14,319. So I'll show this in a dummy company. So I'll just load with this URD purchase. So if you see here, I have passed this transaction that is on 1st of July. I'll just sort it based on sequence of entry. Okay, so there are two transactions, some are below 5,000 also. So if you see on the 3rd of July, there are 3 transactions which are passed, which are lesser than 5,000 value for a day. So it is just 4,000. Then there is one purchase which is on 1st of July, which is 5 lakh, and then there is 5,000. And then there is an adjustment entry. So I'll just delete that adjustment entry so that I can show you. I'll just delete this transaction and I'll repass it for you. So now I'm going to display statutory reports, GST, GSTR 3B. On the right hand side, you can click on show URD purchase. Now if you see, only on the 1st and 2nd day transactions are shown. The 3rd July it is not showing because it is not crossing the limit of 5,000. If you click on show all, it will show you that transactions also. So that is of 3rd of July. So this is not crossing 5,000, hence it was not showing you, right? Bottom it will show you your assessable value, that is 5,05,000, and there is a tax liability of 45,450 each. Okay, so liability currently is not booked, so the liability to be booked is 45,450. Now click this adjustment entry. I'm passing on 31st of July. Adjustment GST, increase of tax liability and purchase from unregistered dealer. Debit your tax on purchase, that is 90,900, 45,450. So now you can see at the bottom that liability has got booked now and there is no liability to be booked. So this is how you passed your adjustment entries for your URD purchase. I'm loading back the previous data now. GSTR 3B. So currently now there is no Excel format as such given by the department for an auto upload. So for return filing or importing of any data. So now you can click on this print return, and when you print, it will print this data in a Word format. So the user only needs to view this and just take these values and put it manually on their GSTN portal to file their GSTR 3B. So this is a 2-page GSTR 3B, that is a summary level information which the department is asking for the month of July. Similarly, they need to do this for the month of August also, and then for September onwards they can file their regular GSTR 1, 2 and 3. Right? So this is the GSTR 3B. Apart from this, the other changes which has happened in 6.0.3 is at a voucher level. If you go to your payment or receipt, there is an option provided, refund of advance receipt. So if there is any refund entry which is happening, either in case of the purchase or payment or receipt, advance was received and it got cancelled, so in that case such transaction can be marked as refund of advance receipt. So when the user is refunding the amount. Apart from this, the cess on tobacco and coal is also supported. Then vehicle number, LR and RR number can also be captured now in your transactions. And for service tax return from April to June, the new STR3 format is also provided. And if there are any Karnataka customers, then e-Sugam facility is also provided for the Karnataka state. So these are the changes which has happened in 6.0.3. The next release which is going to come up is release 6.1, okay, in which we will be providing the GSTR1 format. This will be an invoice levying. So that's it from my side. Thank you for joining us and have a nice day.